following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
And now, broadcasting live from MainEventMadness.com and brought to you by Spreaker, it's Main Event Madness. Our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. And now, here are your hosts, Al Merriman and John Curry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what today's date is, but we're back better than ever. Your host, Alfonso Maramon, with my partner in crime, John Curry. How the hell are you?
Well, happy February 25th, 2015. Figured I'd get the word back there. I'm doing pretty good, I gotta say, man. We are officially 32 days away from WrestleMania 31. I am 28 days away from heading to California for WrestleMania. I'm excited, especially with what we're going to get into in a little bit, throwing possibly a major monkey wrench into what's going on at WrestleMania. I'm excited.
John, can you hear me now?
I can hear you fine.
You're breaking up a little bit there with the audio issues. Hopefully we could get them squared away this week. And I believe you're saying something about WrestleMania. There's probably a wrench thrown into it, but I got different reports going on.
Well, that's
what you're talking about.
The crazy part is that there are different reports going around, and nobody really...
Well, there's one report that seems more believable than the rest, and we're going to talk a little bit about that situation when it pertains to why Brock Lesnar did walk out on Monday Night Raw. That we can't confirm. He did walk out, and he was pissed off. So we could confirm that. The stories are hard to decipher, but I think from all the ones I've looked at and what I've received, I think I got the more plausible one. For sure. So we'll definitely be looking at that here in a second. We have a jam-packed show for you guys today. And I'm receiving a bunch of stuff here. If you could give me a second.
Bunch of topics. We're gonna give some.
A bunch of topics. We're gonna kind of I hate doing this. We'll talk a little bit about Fastlane, the road to WrestleMania, and all that good stuff. And go ahead, John.
I was just saying it's a smorgasbord of topics.
That's right, folks. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about Fastlane, discuss a little bit if Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns changed anybody's mind about Roman Reigns. The Samoa Joe, we all know, unless you've been living underneath the rock, has left TNA Wrestling.
Hallelujah.
Just because they couldn't come to terms. But we're going to talk about his future and an interesting tweet from CM Punk. It looks like he's trying to quote-unquote break the internet again. So we're going to kind of talk about Samoa Joe and his ties to CM Punk, who steps up for TNA in 2015, and we have a special, I know we have a lot of listeners worldwide, and we're going to talk a little bit about soccer. That's for Americans, but across the pond, it's football. So we're going to talk about that a little bit on the lowdown. So that's going to be, I believe, with Mr. Wayne Daly. And again, this is Main Event Madness. It's our wrestling, your sports, and simply madness. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody. So that's how we like to roll, and that's what we do, and that's why John and I are here today. So
before we get moving,
John,
I gotta say two things for you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I got two things I want to get out of the way. First off, Al. Hump Day!
Get happy. And that's right, folks. It's my favorite day of the week. And although not much humping is happening in the Maramon household these days.
Damn! And also, yeah, because humping in Al's house costs $9.99. But also, Al, we got to get something out of the way here.
We sing happy birthday to you, and may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday.
This week is our 1-year anniversary. Happy birthday going out to Wrestling 365 Main Event Madness, which is what we are today. Excuse me. Lost my voice.
I can't believe it's been a year, and what a year we've had. We started off with Diamond Dallas Page, jumped to Bruno Sammartino. We've had Tyrus, or a.k.a. Brodus Clay. Yep. We've had a lot of fun doing the show, from David Hero and Al Snow sharing a bed during WrestleMania weekend last year. Yes, that did happen. What a year we've had, and what a year we're going to have. And I know we promised Kid Cash today. We had some issues with his day schedule and lining him up for today, but he'll be on most likely next week. And if you haven't heard, the ECW original, ECW great, is retiring from professional wrestling this year. But nonetheless, happy birthday to us, to our show, and hopefully we can have many more years and see a growth that we want to see. Hopefully, we're on that 5 years. I would say this, John. I would believe that we're on a 5-year plan, and this is year 1. Let's see where we're at within 4 years.
We
got some big plans for this show.
A good sturdy connection.
Say that again.
I said we better be, or within the next 4 years. I said we better be in a studio with a sturdy connection.
That's what I'm hoping
nothing
for.
Else, if we could just have the basics there.
Well, yeah, right. At least a chair, because right now I'm live for my mobile get-up, which I love it. It's hilarious, yeah. But I'm in live for my 2013 Kia Soul. You guys wouldn't know. So let's talk about what's going on. We got a plethora of topics to hit up, John. Yep. It's funny, like each and every week we're like, okay, what are we going to talk about? Even last night you were telling me, man, we don't have enough topics. You wait 12 hours later, and there's a bunch of stuff that's popping up from Stephanie McMahon and AJ Lee having the brass to call out Stephanie McMahon on Twitter, which I thought was pretty badass.
The tweet heard around the world.
And not only that, it prompted a response from not only Stephanie McMahon, but Vince McMahon as well. So we're going to discuss what's going on with AJ Lee. And let's get right into it. We had a big week of wrestling. It's tough. I know you're excited, and it's hard for me to do a show with somebody that's going to WrestleMania because you guys are blinded by the excitement. And I mean that with the love of a brother, and I know you guys are excited. You're going to see Sting, you're going to see Kevin Nash, you're going to see Triple H, Hogan, you're going to have all that, and probably a CM Punk chocolate bar. Oh, wait, that never happened. But I'm just saying, you guys are kind of blinded by the excitement, I understand. For me, I think this has been one of the crappiest builds to WrestleMania in recent history. But that's just me, and I don't know why I'm drilling this build to WrestleMania. But let's hit Fastlane. We're not going to cover the whole card, which I love this idea, John. Let's see what our best and worst moments of the night were. So what do you think, John? What is your worst moment of Fastlane pay-per-view?
The crowd.
So everything else, all the matches were unbelievably awesome.
They weren't unbelievably awesome. They were great by WWE standards and what they have these days. But if you want me to sort through everything that happened on Sunday and pick the worst part of it, leaps and bounds, hands down, the worst part was the crowd. I'd like to hear what you thought was the worst, aside from...
What was the least... and I'm sorry, you broke up right when you said the worst part. What was the... What were you saying that's the worst part?
No, I was just saying it was leaps and bounds, hands down, the worst part of the night for me. Is that crowd. They said it was a crowd of 13,000. It sounded like a crowd of 13.
There's a combination of many things that, it's hit or miss with these crowds. It's not like back in the 90s where it was like a freaking concert every night. That doesn't happen.
No, there's hit and miss, and then there's swinging a bat at the ball like Bugs Bunny did, swinging around 3 times before the ball even gets to you. And that's what that crowd was in, where were they, Memphis?
Memphis, or Nashville. Nashville? I don't know. Monday Night Raw was Nashville, I think. So
That's how it was Memphis.
Yeah, they were in Memphis because I remember Jerry Lawler said it was his hometown. Well, just put it this way. Look at the crowd at Fastlane, and then I felt the crowd at Raw was a lot more electric than the crowd at Fastlane.
I loved the crowd within the first 30 seconds of the show.
30, yeah, I agree. But to say that was the worst part, I mean, I don't know if I can sit there, and I'm going to tell you this. I was excited. The first match was pretty great. You had the return of Randy Orton. I mean, that was pretty cool.
A long time coming and was overdue, at least in my opinion.
And it's difficult. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. I'm trying to think about the worst moment. There was a few moments and I was like,
don't sugarcoat it. We know what you think is the worst moment of the night.
I want to see if you know where I'm going at.
Roman
Go
Reigns
ahead.
Beating Daniel Bryan.
Roman Reigns
defeating Bryan.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. For me, that match was beautiful. They worked well together.
That match wasn't awesome and that Reigns didn't kick ass in that match.
Daniel Bryan kicked ass in that match.
They both did. It wasn't just Daniel Bryan. You got to give the devil his due with that one. Reigns tore the house down with Bryan.
Let's just say I go and wrestle a good match.
Huh?
Me personally, the Cuban sensation of Falls of Miramont from Miami, Florida, weighing 360 pounds, 6'2", and I go out there and wrestle Daniel Bryan at a main event. It does not qualify me to main event WrestleMania. They put on a great match. I still believe in my gut Roman Reigns should not be main eventing, and if he is a part of the main event, there should be a third wheel, and that should be Daniel Bryan or somebody else. I even had dreams of possibly even sticking Randy Orton in that match. He's still waiting for a rematch, I believe, for the championship.
He never got a one-on-one title match after WrestleMania.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, let's stick him in there. You know, that makes sense. Randy Orton could be the full baby face. Roman Reigns would be the tweener. And then you got the full-fledged heel Brock Lesnar, which he's kind of a tweener, too.
I mean, if we're going I was just going to say, if we're going to go crowd-wise, Orton would be the full-fledged baby face. Lesnar's the tweener, and Reigns is the heel. I mean, if you want to look at
but he's got some people backing him up still. All the girls are still showing their titties to him. I mean, I'm just saying. The girls are still going head over heels, so he gets a little bit of a pop. But I guess if you're going that route, I mean, it would make more sense because Brock Lesnar is more of a tweener, and he received more of a reaction than Roman Reigns does.
Which is just amazing considering the fact that how many people are still supporting Brock Lesnar considering he beat The Undertaker's streak 10 months ago.
And let me tell you, with all the criticism we give World Wrestling Entertainment, the one thing that I was scared of was that they were going to give the title back to John Cena in one of those 3 matches, and they didn't. And they even did things to John Cena I thought they would never do. So if with all the bad we've seen this year, one of the good is how they have written Brock Lesnar as being a beast. And I really can't see Roman Reigns defeating Brock Lesnar and it making sense in my mind right now.
Listen,
I just cannot see that.
I was right back on
they have 5 weeks or 4 weeks now to change my mind that Roman Reigns is somebody capable of beating Brock Lesnar. I don't see it. And I think there's going to be a riot at WrestleMania if he does, except for your boy Matt Breeze.
I was right back on the Roman Reigns bandwagon after the match on Sunday. You know, I was enjoying his match quite a bit. I thought Reigns did a really good job. He wasn't completely on par with Daniel Bryan. I mean, to try to compare him to somebody who's been wrestling for, 10, 15 years now, I mean, that's kind of unfair. But he definitely did his part and did a great job in it. But
Matt Breeze has been brainwashing you. I know it. I know he's been brainwashing you.
No, because I liked Reigns when he was still with the Shield. But, and we're going to touch on this in about a half an hour from now. Some things come out and might be changing my stance a little bit on this, and we'll touch on that in about a half an hour. But, Al...
and I'm not done with my fast lane.
I was going to ask you, what was your...
my worst moment of the night. That wasn't it.
Oh god, here we go. It wasn't Reigns.
All right, so let me tell you, the match was awesome. The execution of the match was great. I understand what the WWE is doing.
Right.
They're forcing Roman Reigns out down everybody's throat, but they're trying to do it the right way with the little bit of time they have. I'm not gonna hate on Roman Reigns. He's a beast in his own nature. I just don't think he's ready to be a main event of WrestleMania. But who the hell am I? But he's putting on a match, and he's doing his best with what he has. If you saw him on Monday Night Raw, go back to the film, John. When he was having his interaction with Paul Heyman, the bottom lip, his lips were quivering. He was nervous as hell. He has a problem sitting there talking on a microphone. If they interview him, because they've been doing this a lot with the Renee Young, and this week on SmackDown, a little spoiler alert, he gets interviewed by Brian Saxton. They interview him. He knows how to react to an interview when they're asking him a question. When he goes out there and he tries to do things on his own, it's difficult for him. But they're putting him on the spotlight, and maybe it's one of those things that you can't compare him to Danny Bryan, like you were saying, from the 10 years difference, whatever the case is.
Right.
He's trying his best. I'm not going to downfall the guy for that. He's trying with what he's got. Congratulations. He's in a position that not many people can say they've been in, especially CM Punk, which he's probably looking at this as laughing his ass off. But when I look at the execution of matches and what was coming out of executions of from Fastlane, I felt, and you're gonna kill me for this.
I probably will.
Triple H and Sting. It did not feel. Yes, it did not feel natural. Go, and you told me I'm not going to go watch it again. Go on the WWE Network and look at the segment again.
Go on the WWE Network for only
$9.99.
No, according to the WWE, it's free for the entire month, but then they give you a free 24 hours in the same month celebrating a birthday, so you get it free 2 times in the same month.
Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But anyways, I feel the execution of Sting and Triple H was I looked at it and I understood their intent, but it just didn't come across as well as I think they wanted it to on television.
And you were talking to me and Wayne about this the other day, and I was kind of laughing because one of your biggest gripes was the camera angles. Yet they made it look fantastic because they made Sting look like he literally got his baseball bat out of thin air.
No, they did. All they did was put the camera on Triple H. He had it in his jacket.
Well, obviously.
It's just, I understand.
You can't fault Sting for that because Triple H has done the same thing when he was feuding with Orton. He had his sledgehammer in his belt or in his pants.
Well, Sting has famously always had his bat in his trench coat. That's old news.
What was awesome about that was there was just a report like a week or two ago saying that they weren't going to let Sting use the bat because of their kid-friendly views or some crap like that. There was just they didn't want to portray the image of using a baseball bat for violence or something like that.
I just did not like how it came out. I wanted to hear Sting talk. I understand they're trying to go back to the WCW days and then have the aura of, oh my God, is he going to speak again? And you even said that.
Well, yeah,
but I just think the execution of Sting and Triple H in the ring, Triple H made Sting look like an old man, I felt. Sting was a little bit off on the bumps he took. And I know everybody had their marksmanship eye sunglasses on or goggle eyes, but it did not come off 100% correct. Due to lack of execution, in my wrestling eyes of whatever how many years, over 15 years of watching this thing, it felt a little bit forced. Kind of like when they forced Roman Reigns. They had all of these things they wanted to do, and it was and sometimes it just doesn't come off as natural. That's the only thing I'm saying.
I mean, I liked it. I mean, Sting has to try, not even Sting, they have to try to cover up the fact that Sting's 50-some-odd years old. So, of course, he's not going to be like Roman Reigns or like Dolph Ziggler taking these bumps like that. I mean, he's not going to sell like Dolph Ziggler. I mean, Dolph Ziggler could sell a punch to the head like he just got shot in the gut. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. You know, and to me, it builds up an intrigue. Will Sting talk before WrestleMania? What will he say before WrestleMania? And will he have any response for Triple H's attacks on him and his legacy? So I'm excited, especially because we probably won't see Sting until the Go Home show. I can't imagine that we'll see him before that. If we do, I'll be surprised. Maybe one time. But other than that, I'm ready. That's also because I've never seen Sting wrestle in person, so I'm dying to see it. Yes, Al, blinded by excitement. But
That's all I'm saying. You guys are a little bit blinded by excitement. That's all.
now, for me, Al, before we move on from this, the best moment of the night for me, hands down, was Bray Wyatt calling out The Undertaker. That segment was epic. I mean, I had the goosebumps. I was excited because for a second I was like, The Undertaker's here. And then I realized, no, Bray Wyatt's calling out The Undertaker. And what's going to be awesome about it is whether or not Taker comes back with the Dead Man character or if he comes back with the biker. Some people
He ain't gonna come back as a biker. There's no way in hell. They want to see the Dead Man versus the crazy Bray Wyatt. I mean, no way possible in hell. Now, here's my question.
What's up?
Are they gonna have a match or are they gonna have a confrontation at Mania? That's what I want to know. I want to know if this is going to be a straight-up match or it's going to be like a brawl at Mania. Because we really don't know yet. I can see this leading. There's new reports saying that he's not going to show up, and I'm talking about The Undertaker till Mania. They're going to tease him, maybe do a couple vignettes showing, kind of like they did with Sting where Triple H, I'll be there, or whatever the hell he said.
Kind of like what they did with Undertaker and Kane back at for WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, so now here's the thing. Is it going to be a match, or we're going to see a crazy promo at WrestleMania, some crazy-ass, whatever plans they have, pyrotechnics with Bray Wyatt in the front of the ring, out of nowhere, Taker comes out and they just kick each other's asses, or we're going to have an actual match? I have no idea.
But you don't want to see the CGI lightning bolt that we won't see in person?
Oh, yeah, right? Let's see.
Just gotta wait for you to text me. Oh my god, there's a lightning bolt! Where? I didn't see it.
And then I missed it. Alright, so I mean, that was pretty impressive, and it's funny because there's a new video of Michelle McCool, which is the wife of The Undertaker, took a print screen of the first time Husky Harris and Michelle, they had an interaction backstage at a SmackDown, I believe, and she actually grabbed the print screen and put it on her Instagram, kind of indicating that this goes way back between Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker, and The Undertaker's probably going to try to get his revenge. I don't know if they're going to work that into the actual storyline itself, but there is that video out there just because Michelle McCool print screened that video.
Would you want to see Michelle McCool come back kind of what Sarah was to The Undertaker like 12, 13 years ago?
Nah.
I wouldn't want to see that really either. I mean, The Undertaker really only deserves two people by his side, and that's Kane and the late Paul Bearer.
I agree.
Obviously, we're not going to the latter. So.
You know, the only person I can see coming out with their wives and it would make sense is obviously Triple H, but the other person that would be interesting would be Brock Lesnar with his wife, former WWE diva and playgirl, Sable. Other than that, it wouldn't make sense.
Triple H.
I'm sorry?
I said if only he did that when he was feuding with Triple H.
That would have been great.
I mean, the long-standing history and rivalry between Stephanie McMahon and Sable, I mean, that would have been awesome to kind of throw in there.
Alright, guys, and just to remind you, listen to Main Event Madness. We're live. This is our beautiful hump day with Alfonso Merrimon and John Curry. This is our first full show together, which feels great after my hiatus with my new baby boy. So it felt great opening up the show. There's a bunch of Twitter handles and all this. I don't know if you got a...
We are
thing for this.
live.
I'm sorry. There's things popping up. I have this new. I'm going to tell you guys something.
What's up?
And this is why I love our show, because we can talk about whatever the hell we want. I got this new laptop, and you can literally finger screw the like it's one of those laptops,
Finger screw
a
the
tablet.
laptop?
You could fondle my laptop, and it will react to my fondlization. Yes, I just created a new word, but it has Windows 8.1.
My God, good old Cuban Spanglish here.
That's right. Windows 8.1, and let me tell you, I can't get used to this. I can't wait. There's Windows 10 out there. There's a preview edition. I'm trying to get it downloaded or see if I can test it, because this is a piece of crap.
We can download 10?
Yeah, I already got a couple of my buddies that have it downloaded.
What is it, like a beta?
Yeah, it's like a beta version, like a test version, and they're saying that it's great.
I'll download it. It looks fantastic. I like the fact that we have the old start menu back in that.
Yeah, because right now I got Skype on a different window. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but
the way that thing is working out for me.
You do get used to it after a little bit.
No, I'm not. I hate it. What I do like is the fact that I'm rolling through our. I know this shouldn't be talked about, but on our our run sheet, I can just. With my little finger here, hey, okay, I'm all right. So later on in the show, we got a bunch of amazing topics. We're going to be talking about Brock Lesnar walking out on Vince McMahon and the WWE this Monday night on Raw. Yes, he was in attendance. That's 100% true. Yep. And the reason for him leaving spans from, well, we'll talk about it a little later, but drug tests to contracts disputes. We have a lot of stuff we're going to talk about there. We're going to discuss a little bit more about AJ Lee and Stephanie McMahon and Vince McMahon saga and intertwined mess that they created. Since this sounds like AJ Lee, it's a girl version of CM Punk.
And in no way is that a bad thing.
I'm sorry?
I said, and in no way is that a bad thing.
Oh, no. Well, no, it's not a bad thing. The next girl, she'll jump ship to the UFC and start fighting Ronda. Who knows?
If that were to happen, UFC is officially rigged. I'm sorry.
There's two things I wanted to talk about too. So we're going to talk a little bit about Randy Orton's return at Fastlane a little bit more, and I wanted to talk about which we haven't really got to, was Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, and that changed the perception of everybody. Let's just talk. Let me just ask you now. Do you think that changed the perception of Roman Reigns, seeing how they reacted to him on Monday Night Raw after facing Daniel Bryan, and then the Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan came out with Roman Reigns and kind of shook his hand and all that. Well, what are your thoughts about that, John?
I mean, is it changing the fans' perspective of him?
As in saying that it's hard, because now you're saying that you freaking love the guy. Your gut, in your heart, besides, we know Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan had a great match. We know that. But in your gut and your mind, do you personally really, really think that Roman Reigns should be there against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania?
Do I think so? I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, does he necessarily deserve it over a guy like Daniel Bryan? Yeah, not so much. But, I mean, the bottom line is they got to create stars. And you could kind of see it in WWE. They don't want to get in the position they were right after Rock and Austin left, and you're left with Triple H, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and that's it. And the latter two were on SmackDown, and you had nobody on Raw. You had to take a Shawn Michaels out of retirement, which an option they don't have, because that would, if we're doing proportionally, that would be CM Punk right now. And we have, I'm just rambling. There's nobody there. So they don't want to get in a position when Cena and Orton, if they were to get hurt or if they decided to retire, they have nobody left. So in that regard, I think, why not? Let's see what Reigns can do. Everybody's bashing him. But the biggest thing, if he didn't get hurt, I don't think a single person out there would be bashing him. Because you go back to Money in the Bank, and everybody was drinking the Roman Reigns Kool-Aid. Even you. Notice he's not arguing with me because he knows
I don't recall these facts.
Yeah, okay. Visit
wait. I'm going to plead the fifth, and I'll have my attorney call you.
Huh?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Exactly. Pretty much everybody was on the Roman Reigns bandwagon. You know, he was kind of riding that momentum that he started to get back at the Royal Rumble in 2014 when the crowd wanted him to win and not Batista. And then once the Shield broke up and he was in the WWE title picture for a couple months, people were loving Roman Reigns. And then he got hurt.
Yeah, but what changed between now and then?
He got hurt.
No.
If you want my honest opinion.
When that happened, was he still with the Shield?
No, what happened, in my opinion, is he got hurt and WWE still stuck with their plan. They should have, I mean, if you want to look at it realistically, they should have put Dean Ambrose where Reigns is right now. That
obviously.
Would feel more organic.
Exactly. Yeah.
It would feel less like they're trying to shove Ambrose down our throat.
You mean Roman Reigns down our throat?
Yes, sorry.
I agree. I mean, no. Look, here's the thing. You gotta. What's the old saying? You gotta strike when the iron's hot.
Yep.
Roman Reigns was hot back then. Yeah, unfortunately, he got injured and all that crap, but he was hot. And then what happened was he was put in a position that they did those crappy ass videos via satellite bullshits on Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
And he didn't come off across as. He seemed vulnerable at this point.
Yep.
Before he seemed like a badass, but now he's not invincible. He got injured. So the perception of the live crowd changed. And what is one thing the WWE universe has always complained about? They've always complained when WWE tries to force feed us crap, what they want. I mean, and it's happened for years. Right now, they have naturally built guys like Rusev, guys like Dean Ambrose. They've been naturally letting these guys. Daniel Bryan, we grew to love Daniel Bryan. He wasn't thrown in our face. The crowd reacted to Daniel Bryan. Not Vince McMahon saying you're going to love him. No, we learned to love him, and that's a big difference. Vince McMahon loves Roman Reigns right now. The crowd doesn't. He's force-feeding him to us. Just kind of like John Cena. The same thing with Cena. He's been force-fed to us for so long. That's why half the crowd doesn't like him and half the crowd does.
The biggest thing for Cena, besides the fact he hasn't changed his character since he started his character in 2007, was the year-long title reign. And I've said this for the longest time. He should not have been champion for a year. I don't care if he got the belt back a month after he lost it. He should have lost the belt to Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 23. If he had done that, people would have been okay when Shawn got hurt and everybody else got hurt. I think people would have been okay if Cena got the belt back because he had Carlito in the main event, for Christ's sake. So, I mean...
I remember that.
And the Great Khali was your champion on SmackDown, and Johnny Nitro was your champion in ECW. Clearly, there were some injuries. But, I mean, having Cena ram down our throat for 13 months by the time he lost his belt, and people have not reacted to Cena the same. I mean, the biggest thing was... Yeah, it was around WrestleMania 23. People wanted to see Shawn win the belt one more time. And that's... If you go back and watch videos from 2007... Yes, Wayne, that was the time of the Signature Pharmacy. That's when, like, half of what was left of the roster all got suspended at the same time. That's when Kennedy single-handedly committed career suicide right after committed suicide. But... If you go back and watch videos from 2007, the crowd loved Cena until WrestleMania 23. WrestleMania 23 was when they really started the, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. That's when they really started that and really started booing him because they wanted to see Shawn win the belt. And he has not recovered from that. And like I said, the biggest thing from that He hasn't changed his character in almost 10 years. Even Hogan changed his character, tweaked it a little bit. Or at least would sell getting his ass kicked when he actually put people over. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, back to the initial thing. I mean, yeah, when it's forced down to throw, people just don't react to it well.
Nope.
I gotta say, there's a lot of excitement in the independent wrestling scene, and I don't know, there's just a weird feeling that I personally get. I'm getting lately with World Wrestling Entertainment. I don't know what it is, but
pessimistic with WWE.
I'm sorry?
I said you are very pessimistic with WWE.
I'm scared for them in a weird way, to be honest with you. And I don't know what it is, but there's something. I'm seeing these people, like, all right, we have a gentleman that helps us write the Raw reports when he can. But, like, he's talking to me. He's like, he's starting not to be able to stand watching Raw and SmackDown. He lives to watch NXT, and he'll watch TNA wrestling because he likes the story. It's a little bit more coherent. I haven't watched TNA in like a full episode in a while. You watch Lucha, but there's something about Raw and SmackDown he just can't stand. And it's again that entertainment thing. I don't know. It's just getting me nervous. But back to the point we were saying, Roman Reigns definitely.
No, the biggest thing that you're scared about or that scares you is the fact that Vince's lost touch, and it is ever apparent every single week on Raw and SmackDown. Triple H is in touch, and that's why everybody, men, women, teenagers, older, younger, children, everybody loves NXT.
Well, this is what I see happening. The parents are still going with the kids because the kids don't understand. But as the kids are growing into the 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, that they have more access to the internet, they're starting to read and learn a lot more about wrestling and what it is.
Right.
And they're becoming smarter of the product. When they see a show like Raw and they're like, this is bullshit, they're looking at NXT and say, this is the art of wrestling.
Yep.
Like, they're looking at wow, this is what wrestling used to be. Oh, okay, this is what a match is. Oh, and they're liking that better. Shit, they're giving us with these storylines week in and week out.
They need to get the move on creating more stars. And to your point, because of all these kids growing up, they're going to have the same problem in a couple of years that they had back in 1996 and 97, that nobody cared about the eat your vitamins and say your prayers and all these superheroes that they had with Bret Hart and Diesel and Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan, earlier Shawn Michaels. And nobody really cared about those baby faces, and they had to change stuff up. They tweaked Bret's character, they introduced Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's what they, maybe seen as the Bret Hart of this generation. Maybe that they need to start putting it, not so much an edge to them and, like what everybody's saying, but, you know what I mean. Just tweaking.
Well, don't get it twisted. John Cena, I see what you mean. As of right now, he's the Bret Hart of this era because of he hasn't really changed. But John Cena is like the Hulk Hogan. If he does a huge change and he's able to, I don't know, he's Hulk Hogan-ish. I mean, he's the face of wrestling for the past whatever years it is. But I'm not sure how you mean the comparison to Bret Hart.
I was just thinking because he was still there in WWE back in '96 when the
okay, I got you. All right.
But
well, we'll see again, back to Roman Reigns. I know we were kind of like rambling on here, but Roman Reigns, I felt like it was forced on us. And this is not wrestling in the 80s, Vince McMahon, or the 70s, however long you've been doing this crap. We are smarter than a fifth grader. You know what I'm saying? Like, we understand that wrestling is fake, and we understand when you're shoving someone up our ass. And I think that's the problem. Roman Reigns got shoved up our ass. Daniel Bryan did get injured, but Daniel Bryan, what did he say when he returned? This is what I've always told you, John, about us and our show. We want people to know who we are. Daniel Bryan went out there with an open microphone and teared up, talking about his father that died this year, his injuries. This is on his return, that he thought he would never wrestle. I almost got teary-eyed for the guy. He has a connection to the crowd. Roman Reigns doesn't have that same type of connection. You learn to love Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan, even with his injury, he's able to come back, and they're still yesing him to death. because he has that connection. He has that, he has that realism to himself, to him, and the connection to the crowd. So it's like Roman Reigns is lacking that. We always felt like Roman Reigns could go out there and kick somebody's ass, but the way that they're shoving him down our throat, and the fact that he can't back it up with talking and help sell himself, he doesn't know how to sell his brand. He could go out there and be dressed as a bodyguard and a SWAT team member, whatever the hell he's wearing these days. He could do that, and he could look like a beast, but he doesn't know how to sell himself as a beast. And as of today in wrestling, you need to know how to talk on the microphone, because it's not just, especially with the WWE, it's not wrestling, it's sports entertainment. You need to know how to cut a promo, and that's one of the biggest issues we have with Roman Reigns. He doesn't know how to connect with the crowd in that aspect. He doesn't know how to make that connection with the crowd. Believe that. Believe what? I'm not a believer. I'm a believer. Sorry about that. All right, go ahead. Damn! I had to do it, folks. Right. Nonetheless, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar is happening. Whatever the case is, it is going to be your main event. And I know you guys are going to enjoy it. We're going to watch it. We want to see who's going to win. It's still intriguing. It's going to sell tickets. So no matter what, the monster will live, and that's the monster we call the WWE.
But let's switch gears here a little bit, Al, and talk about another thing that's building, but this one somewhat organically, and that's Orton turning babyface. And we've seen it from this past Monday on Raw that he came out as a full-fledged babyface and then rejoined the authorities, seemingly. How do you feel about them doing the slow burn to Orton truly breaking away as a monster babyface and away from the authority?
I have an issue with the way they're doing this as usual. A couple weeks back, and I'm taking you back to my thinking. On an episode of SmackDown, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, Big Show knocked out Kane. And it was supposed to be a face turn. Now, look, I wrote the spoilers. I didn't see it on television, but everyone expected him to be a face and leave the Shield. And actually, on Monday Night Raw the next night, we're gonna have to forget about that. Why did you guys do it in the first place? So here, fast forward to Fastlane. Randy Orton comes out to the biggest pop almost of the night. I think it was one of the top 3 pops, if not number 1 or 2.
No, it was 2. Undertaker's.
Well, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. The Undertaker. Okay, so number 2, whatever. We have Undertaker's Gongs and Drew. All right. He comes out and he's a full-fledged face. He freaking RKOs everybody and their mothers. Everybody's eating it up, blah, blah. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm excited to see Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins at main event at this point while I'm watching Fastlane. Then here comes Monday Night Raw. They have the segment with him and the authority, and oh my God, I'm here, and I've been sitting for 4 months wanting to get my hands on this son of a bitch, and he injured me, and blah, 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 and Seth Rollins, all right, we're going to have a business meeting later on Monday Night Raw. With all that anger and hate, he sits back, and he shakes the man's hand, which this is what I hate about wrestling sometimes. It's like, why are you guys doing this? Build it up to where they're going to kill each other. Then they put him in a tag team match against Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, where Randy Orton's wrestling a full match. I was like, okay, what's going to happen here? Randy Orton's going to come out and stay on the ring apron, and then eventually screw Seth Rollins and get the hell out of there and RKO everybody and stand tall with Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton. We're going to stand tall over the authority. That's how I figured Raw was going to close. And then it did all this crap because he smacked him, and then Randy Orton didn't fight back to Big Show and Kane and James. Even the live crowd didn't even want to cheer because they didn't know what the hell was going on anymore. Mm-hmm. My problem is you're telling me it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn to becoming a face. He was a face last night and at the beginning of Raw. Why did they have to switch him back to a tweener again? Like, well, what are they doing? I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Back to a tweener, but there was more to that, and we're going to touch on that after we finish talking about Raw. I mean, to me, it kind of reminds me, if they go the approach they might go, at least in my opinion, it kind of reminds me of how they went about Orton versus Triple H back in '09, where he took out a McMahon, and then took out a McMahon, and then took out Triple H. Maybe he took out Jamie Noble this week. Maybe he's going to take out Joey Mercury next week, and then Kane, and then Big Show, and then finally get to Seth Rollins. One by one, take out members of the Authority to get to Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but when you tell me he take out Jamie Noble, all he did was give him an RKO, right?
Yeah, but it's close.
But that's what he did the night before to everybody.
Yeah, it's close enough, though.
And then the passion that Randy Orton had, I felt like it erased his promo from early in the night where he he couldn't wait to get his hands on Seth Rollins, but yet then everything changed. Like I freaking hate, I hate it.
Well,
I hate it because they could have just started their promo and their run. I know that we're going to see Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton at Mania. We know that. But why did they have to do this? Why couldn't they just start it? They had a good start, and I just feel like that cluster F of an ending, or you know what I mean by that. But at the end of the run that I Raw, it just didn't make sense to me. It's just one of those things that it's another reason why there's times I'm watching Raw and it's 3 hours long and I say, you know what, I got to take this shit off. And I take a 20, 30-minute break because that's just it's annoying to me.
Well, let's just get right into this, man. The biggest thing with both how Raw ended and with Randy Orton, why he was booked so weird, is Orton wasn't originally supposed to be in that segment. That segment was supposed to be, or to kick off Raw, was supposed to be with Brock Lesnar. And the main event wasn't supposed to be with Randy, the match was supposed to be there, but the ending of Raw wasn't supposed to be as awkward. It was supposed to be Brock Lesnar. And as we touched on at the beginning of the show, yes, Brock Lesnar walked out of Monday Night Raw. Al, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Brock Lesnar walked out of Monday Night Raw this week, and there were a litany of reports as to why. And I hinted at one of them, talking about Roman Reigns, and that changed my perception of him a little bit. And this is only a rumor, so don't go telling people, "Oh my God, I heard on Main Event Madness." Well, they said this. No, this is a rumor from a friend of WrestlingNewsReport.com, and that's where I got it from. And Al's got a couple other reports he's going to mention also, that these are just possibilities, but the biggest rumor coming out right now is that Roman Reigns failed a wellness test. And that with all the steroid scandals going on in the UFC, Brock Lesnar doesn't want to even be associated with somebody who flunked for steroids. And, I mean, Al, can you blame him? If that is legitimately the case, like I said, only a rumor, but
it's a hard rumor to swallow. I mean, it is one of those things that where you tell me it doesn't. He's not the one that did the drugs. If it is true that Roman Reigns smoked a doobie or he injected some steroids on his left pec instead of his right this week, I mean, I don't see why it would affect him to the point to where he's like, all right, guys, screw it. I'm going home. I'm pulling the CM Punker. Yes, guys. Fuck. Just, I don't know why, since Brock Lesnar hasn't spoken in a while, that's my Brock Lesnar voice. All right, guys, F you guys. This man, go to hell. That's my Brock Lesnar. I mean...
God, that was horrible.
Yeah, I know. That's my impression of Brock Lesnar, because he doesn't know how to talk to the microphone. And I haven't heard him so long. No, I'm being honest with you. I don't think that... Of all the reports I've read, and I haven't posted anything on WrestlingNewsReport.com because I don't want to report on bullcrap, but this is Main Event Madness, and and it's worth talking about because it's a big deal. It's a huge deal, and I think it's worth talking about. But to tell me that he left because of that, it's just ridiculous.
Not because of that, alone. According to the report, Brock Lesnar wanted Reigns replaced in the WrestleMania match and had no problem dropping a belt to either Daniel Bryan or John Cena, which God forbid the latter happens, because I really don't want to see that. But
This is what I feel it's more plausible, more real, and something that I would feel comfortable posting on WNR. Now the source
yeah, he's
is
kind of
unreal.
refuted a little bit, and now he's posted something else that he's even admitted that is probably more realistic. But go ahead.
So what I'm saying, this source, I'm not even going to begin to explain to where it came from. But all right, so WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar, obviously left Monday Night Raw from Nashville, Tennessee, after previously arriving for the scheduled appearance. Just to let you know, Brock Lesnar did fly in his personal jet. This is what they're saying. Apparently, Lesnar was upset, and issues are obviously not 100% completely known at this point. But it was reported that he wasn't happy on how his merchandise is being handled. There's also said to be a big strain between management and Brock Lesnar because they're trying to sign him to an extension. And Brock Lesnar at this time does not want to sign an extension and lock himself in to a WWE contract without weighing his other options. His other options possibly being with, one, the UFC, possibly Bellator, or any other, whatever the hell he wants to do.
Japan has been thrown around.
He doesn't want to have the restrictions of a WWE contract at this point, just to see. Here's the thing. If he stays with the WWE, he wants to have a UFC offer sheet so he can boost up his WWE contract.
Yeah, because they don't want to offer him anywhere near what he's making.
No, UFC could. And point blank, a UFC pay-per-view outdoes WWE pay-per-views by millions and millions of dollars. I mean, it's unbelievable. So the buyouts are better for these competitors at UFC, just as an FYI there. So it goes on to say that Brock Lesnar believes that the WWE may be, in a sense, sabotaging his sales out of spite. Now, these are things that I remember hearing about CM Punk, that WWE does some crazy stuff like this to the guys that don't cooperate. It's very easy. If you guys don't understand how it could be done out of spite, they can just stop advertising his shirts on WWE.com, and it's going to affect his percentage on his sales. And they'll put on Dean Ambrose or a new John Cena shirt instead of having his Sleep, Defeat, Conquer shirt, whatever the hell it is, a repeat shirt, on there as one of the main products to sell, or even on the WWE network for that matter. They can just remove those commercials, and it's going to be done out of spite in a sense, and it's going to affect the money coming into his pocket. When it comes in terms of Brock Lesnar, he has a special, unique deal. Everybody should know that. So what happens is he actually has a higher royalty rate than normal. So, which that means is that when a merchandise, if he sells a $20 T-shirt, he'll get $4 on the shirt. When compared to Dean Ambrose, he'll get $2. So he'll get a little bit more off of his sales. Mm-hmm. And his merchandise right now is not featured. Isn't featured right now. A lot of at all the house shows, and even sometimes on Monday Night Raw, it's not even on there, or SmackDown, and that's a part of the spite thing. Then when Brock Lesnar finally realized that this was going on, he got pissed off and asked Vince McMahon about it, and that probably what caused him to walk out and say, "What the hell are you doing to me?" So, and think about it, he is your World Heavyweight Champion. Even if he's not at your house show, he's going to sell some T-shirts, I think. Especially with the reaction he gets, there's people that absolutely love Brock Lesnar. So why aren't you pushing this stuff on house shows and SmackDowns and Raws and only on pay-per-views? That doesn't make sense to me.
Vince McMahon's an asshole.
Exactly, and then you wonder why he doesn't want to probably re-sign with you, because you're doing shit like this to guys like CM Punk and AJ Lee knows about it, and everyone's getting pissed off, and people don't even want to come sign with you because of it, like AJ Styles, and I don't even know if Samoa Joe would even give them a time of day to do it. So, I mean, this seems more realistic to me than a falsified drug test by Roman Reigns. What are your thoughts on it?
We don't know if it's falsified. We don't know if the merchandise one. We can speculate on what one we think is more realistic, but we don't know which one's real and which one's not.
I'm asking you, which one do you think is more realistic?
Which one do I think is more realistic? I think the one that you mentioned is.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid of the one that I mentioned.
Oh, I would be too, because that would be effed up if Roman Reigns was given an opportunity and he fails the drug test, and it's 4 weeks from now. I mean, yeah, I would be pissed off as Vince McMahon should be as an owner, and me as a fan. I'd be like, damn, you're a jackass. All the fans hate you. You're gonna go smoke a doobie or pump some roids in you, whatever the hell it is. I mean, whatever it could be, if it is that.
But nonetheless, guys, we are live. This is Main Event Madness. We are back, our second week back after a month off because Al had to pop out a kid. I mean, Al's wife gave birth. Don't forget, also, follow us on Twitter, at John MEM Radio, at Al Me Madness.
Al Me Madness. You gotta get that right, bro.
Say it.
All right.
I said it in like 6 weeks, guys. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Main Event Madness. Like us on Spreaker, same thing, except it's Spreaker.com/show/Main Event Madness. Read the run sheet. That's the best way to do it. And if you guys can't listen live, don't forget, we are on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and YouTube, just to name a few.
Wait. You're also on wrestling-news.net, wrestlingnewsreport.com, and maineventmadness.com is still down because you bastards hacked us for some reason. Whoever had the time to hack us, kiss our asses. All right, sorry.
Yes. Call out the hackers so they can hack us.
I want you guys to hack me again, mother. I'm going to find you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's probably not the best course of action, but... All right, guys, we're going to take a commercial break here. When we get back, we have a loaded, jam-packed second half of the show. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer. Can you do a little bit longer than 1 o'clock today?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay, maybe we're going to go into overtime. It's Main Event Madness. We are 3 weeks away from St. Patrick's Day, which means spring is right around the corner. Screw the groundhog. Because it is summertime right now in Miami. We are getting up to almost 90 degrees down in Miami today.
I'm sitting in my basketball shorts. It is steaming.
I knew it. You gotta be like I don't even know, man. You're sitting in your car doing this?
Yes, sir.
Do you have air conditioning on?
I got a beast of an air conditioner. But I'll tell you what the temperature is outside right now. It's only 90 degrees outside.
All right, we're going to do a little bit of comparison here, guys. This is Main Event Madness. We're live. We're just sitting here shooting the breeze. Also, but while I'm waiting to do this, we have Wayne Daly of Wrestling-News.net. He's going to give us the football lowdown of what's going on across the pond in the Barclay Premier League, among others. Yeah, Al. All right, so Al lives in just outside of Miami, Florida, and
2 minutes away.
Huh?
2 minutes away from Miami.
Clearly Al's car that's in the sun right now isn't agreeing with it. But according to the Weather Channel right now, Al has 82 degrees and it feels like 83 degrees down in Miami.
Oh shit! My car says it's 90 right
that's
where
why
I'm
I said
sitting.
You're in the sun, so your car isn't agreeing with it. But versus where Wayne Daly lives in Ireland, it is 50 degrees, mostly cloudy, feels like 52, so no difference there. If you guys really want to compare here. Up here in Auburn, I am 20 degrees, partly cloudy, windy, feels like 4. Fuck you, Mother Nature. Fuck
Estamos en vivo. We're live, and apparently John Curry's freezing his ball sack off.
Dude, there ain't even nuts left. The things are diamonds. I could go stand outside for an hour, go bring them to K Jewelers and get them things appraised. It'll be so cold out there.
There you go, man. We said you need that extra money for WrestleMania.
I don't know if I need it bad enough to go get my nuts appraised, but
tell Matt Breeze to do the same.
I'll keep that in mind. And Wayne,
put a little bit of water on them. It'll make it go faster.
You're such an asshole. Wayne, I'm comparing you because you were kind of a midway point. And good. I'm glad you have a lot of stories to talk about for football. But, yeah, we're just rambling. We're Main Event Madness. We are live. It is February 25th, 2015. We are jam-packed on the road to WrestleMania 31. I'd say if there was a TNA pay-per-view this month, like there has been for a few years, but those idiots don't have any pay-per-views going on right now, probably shouldn't call them idiots because we're trying to get interviews, but, nothing's as bad, and thank you again to Tyrus for coming on the beginning of January like you did. Nothing was as bad as finding out in the middle of the show, yep, we have the interview still, and you're shit-talking TNA, and then you have one of the bigger names in TNA coming on 5 minutes
That was
later.
pretty bad.
But, all right, guys, we're going to take a commercial break here. When we get back, like I said, Wayne's got the football lowdown. We're going to talk the fight that was announced around the world, or heard around the world, that it's finally happening, but happening about 10 years too late. Also, the rundown coming up, 10 minutes, 5 topics. We give you the lowdown, or we give you the rundown, I should say. Hall of Fame, some NXT tag teams. Nonetheless, we'll be right back in a couple minutes, guys. So you're cruising around the internet looking for some entertainment. What if I told you there's a hard-hitting, fresh, and opinionated podcast out there covering everything from WWE and TNA to the NFL, the NBA, and MLB? Well, that's reality. Main Event Madness is here. Don't miss us every week on MainEventMadness.com as well as on TuneIn Radio and Stitcher.com. Main Event Madness, our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. From the associate producer of The Wrestler, Evan Ginsberg, comes Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV, co-hosted by Steve Ludwig, featuring legends in sports, pro wrestling, and the arts. Lanny the Genius Poffo, Nicole Bass, Oscar from Men on a Mission, and million-selling music hitmakers like Martha Wash of the Weather Girls and Carol Douglas of Doctor's Orders fame appear regularly, as well as the greatest live indie musicians performing live in studio. Saturdays, 11 a.m. at legendstvnyc.com and madhousetv.com, archived 24/7. You missed the birth of your mother and father, don't you dare miss Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV. Looking for more than your average wrestling website? Looking for the fastest growing wrestling news site on the internet today? With quality news, results, and more. Wrestling News Report has everything you'd want in a wrestling website. Al Merriman has you covered with the latest and biggest stories of the day from all around the world of pro wrestling. Check them out today, WrestlingNewsReport.com. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Looking for quality wrestling news with an international flair? Looking for results and news from around the world? Look no further than Wrestling-News.net. Wayne Daly and his crew have you covered from top to bottom, from WWE to TNA to the top independent companies from around the world. Check them out, Wrestling-News.net. Need a break? How about a rope break? Wrestling's rope break, that is. Don't miss every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Wrestling's Rope Break. Joel O'Brien and Aaron Ramadanov give you a fresh and passionate insight on the latest happenings and news from the world of pro wrestling. It's Wrestling's Rope Break, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, MainEventMadness.com and Spreaker.com. Presented by Main Event Madness. All right, guys, we are back. This is Main Event Madness, hour number 2. We may go to overtime. Who the hell knows? It's what we want to do. We are live. It is February 25th, 2015, 28, excuse me. We are 32 days away from WrestleMania 31, live from San Jose. I have no idea why WWE says Santa Clara, because it's San Jose, California. Al, are you ready for the second hour of randomness?
Yes, I am.
And speaking of randomness, you want to talk randomness? How about tuning into a wrestling/sports podcast and we kick off the hour number 2 with some football.
The football, the
And
soccer,
football,
They kick the ball and the soccer, the goal. That's how it's rolling.
I can't outdo that. Normally I can. You know what? The only thing I can say to that is, arr. Al can't roll his R's, so
I can't do that now.
at least I can out-Spanish him with that. And at this time, we are going to bring on Mr. Wayne Daly of Wrestling-News.net. He's got our football/soccer lowdown, depending on what you want to call it. If you're a true fan, you know it's football. If you're just from America, you know it's soccer. But nonetheless, Mr. Daly, are you with us, sir?
Arriba!
Dude, even the dude from Ireland can roll his R's, and you can't.
I can't roll. That's how I can't roll any R's.
You know what? And we didn't really get to say this last week because we had breathtaking audio issues. More issues than CM Punk and AJ's characters combined. But how beautiful does Wayne sound now? You know, you don't have that.
Oh, that's because he's got a new laptop. No? Okay.
Mr. Daly is in HD now.
It's a high definition, Mr. Daly.
High definition.
I don't think the world's ready for this.
They're probably going to make it into a TV show. Wayne HD. Coming soon to Fox.
Fox Sports 1.
Main Event Madness. It's Wayne in HD.
All right, let's get the show pumping on the road. I know you got a lot of stuff to talk about, Mr. Daly. This is, what are we calling this segment?
The Football Lowdown.
With Mr. Daly. All right, go ahead.
Well, the biggest news today, over the past, probably 4 or 5 hours, has been the fact that the World Cup in Qatar in 2022 will not be held in the summer and will actually be held in the winter.
Well, because summer would be winter for them, right?
No, it's just the fact that it's going to be too hot in the summer. It'll hit 50 degrees Celsius.
Holy sh!
As I look at my TV and there's a song called Apocalyptic on there, that's kind of appropriate.
Oh, that's funny.
But
UEFA have actually suggested to FIFA to get the tournament underway at the end of November and finish it just 2 days before Christmas Day.
Wow, that's crazy right there.
The only problems with this is that a lot of European clubs, and I mean a lot from the Premier League to La Liga in Spain, to League One in France, to Serie A in Italy, they're all complaining of the fact that it's actually going to be held in the winter break. Instead of being held in summer like it usually is, it's actually going to be held
because that's family time and all that, right?
It's usually the time where, like I said, it's usually the time where football is more. There's more games on TV. Let's put it that way.
That's going to be interesting to see how it affects everybody, you know. But it's 100% confirmed. I mean, it's happening.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be happening. FIFA General Secretary Jerome Valk actually said there will be no compensation for European clubs if the World Cup happens in winter. Which means if it does happen in winter, let's say Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Real Madrid, they won't get compensated just for the sake it's going to be held in winter for the first time ever.
Should be interesting to follow there for sure.
Second bit of news I have actually concerns the MLS in America. For the first time ever over in this side of the pond, Sky Sports have actually won the rights to broadcast the Major League Soccer.
Oh, wow.
Like in the past, they used to be on BT Sport. They used to be thrown it on everywhere, like on ESPN over here. But now it's actually going to be on Sky Sports as part of a new rights package they actually sealed last year. Actually, towards the end of last year, they sealed it, and it's going to have the likes of Steven Gerrard coming to LA Galaxy, Frank Lampard coming to New York City FC.
And I mean,
I think that's possibly one of the main reasons they actually Sky Sports paid more money for.
And MLS is finally starting to pick up a little bit of little bit of momentum and a little ground here in America. Finally, and it's funny because that's what Dave Beckham was brought over here for, and that really had nothing to help it. But.
And actually, speaking of Dave Beckham, he actually was the first person I saw to talk about the deal. He said this is another important moment that shows the continued growth of the Major League Soccer brand. I've seen firsthand how popular soccer has become in America, and having fantastic partners such as Sky Sports on board will not only add to the coverage of the game, but it will also broaden its appeal in the US and outside of the US.
I say they should just get rid of the MLS and just air European soccer.
I don't mind the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, in the story-wise, Greece has had a lot of troubles in the last couple of weeks with their debt and everything like that. And now after some violence in the club game between Olympiacos and Panathinaikos, they've now suspended football indefinitely in the country.
What?
This means literally there's going to be no football in the country for the rest of the season. And that's after literally the company suspended football twice already this season. Once in September and once again in November, following crowd trouble. Now they just stopped football for the whole season.
Crazy.
But that's one thing I don't understand. Why is it at football games, soccer, for those who don't know, that's football is around the world except for us dumb Americans. Why is it that there's always people killing each other and going crazy and there's stampedes, and why does that happen all the time with these crowds, Wayne? Are you guys nuts? Because from my perception, I am scared for my life to even think about going to a soccer or a football game, and that's just crazy for a country to have to cease their football operations because of danger. I mean, that's crazy to me.
I think it's just down to like the way kids are brought up. Like you're a Miami Heat fan, Al. It's like having Miami Heat against Orlando Magic. But put that with a football crowd, and that's the reaction you're going to get.
That's crazy. It's crazy that it gets that crazy. I mean, there's even been fires, and I just don't. I can't fathom that. That's nuts to me.
I mean, the first suspension that was in Greece was actually caused by the death of a fan, and the second sanction, which led to another suspension, was because of an assault on the assistant director of the refereeing committee. So they actually assaulted the assistant director of the referees, which led to the second suspension. The third suspension, which actually means it's indefinite, it's because of crowd trouble. And get this, a brawl between club officials at a board meeting from both teams. So not only was it crowd trouble, it was actually behind the scenes as well. There was fighting.
That's awesome. That's intense. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts.
Good old Greece. You want to see some chaos and everything else. Just look over to Greece.
Well, not for your football anymore.
Yeah, not for football, that's for sure. That's one less country that we have to worry about for the World Cup, at least. Anything else you wanted to touch on, Wayne?
Just a small bit of gossip news, that's all there is. There's Champions League football on as well tonight. Arsenal playing Monaco, and I think it's Bayer Leverkusen against Atletico Madrid. If you want my predictions, Arsenal are going to win, and Atletico Madrid are going to win.
There you go. Some bold predictions there.
If you want score predictions, I can give you that as well.
What'd you say, Wayne?
I was saying if you want a score prediction, I can give you a score predictions.
Go ahead.
In terms of Arsenal Monaco, I'm going to say 3-1 to Arsenal. For Leverkusen and Atletico Madrid, I will say Leverkusen 1, Atletico Madrid 2.
Sweet.
If you bet on them and they turn out good, just tell people where you heard the predictions in the first place.
Oh, God.
Mystic win.
They're gonna have to send Wayne 10%, or you're gonna have to, if it does go down, you're gonna have to open your own business with dailypicks.com and start giving advice to these guys. And it says it'll be a $19.99 $9.99 membership a month. To pick Daily's brain.
ExtremeBettingOdds.com. That's extreme with an X, not an E. Wayne can go old school.
ExtremeFootballBets.com.
But let's switch gears here a little bit, guys. Talk about some old school, and that's what AJ Lee did, at least if you want to call a few years ago old school. AJ Lee last night on Twitter dropped a tweet bomb heard around the world. Yes,
bombing those tweeters.
Yes, Wayne.
Sorry.
Wayne, you said something. I think.
Who is typing? Whoever's typing is typing as loud as the...
Yeah, I print my notes out, so I don't...
Holy crap.
That's probably John, it's a...
Yeah, blame me, since your picture was lighting up.
I'm here to find... All right.
The tweet bomb heard around the world, and that's AJ Lee, and I wish I had the tweet up right now. Gotta love not being prepared. But basically, Stephanie McMahon said, was thanking Patricia Arquette for fighting for women's rights on such a grand stage at the Oscars, I believe it was. And AJ Lee decided to take to Twitter and... Let's see. See if I can find it. It looks like she deleted them.
No, they're up. I have to refresh. All right, so AJ Lee, Stephanie McMahon tweeted out to Patty Arquette for having the courage to fight for women's right on a grand platform like the Oscars or whatever the heck it was. AJ Lee retweets and says thank you. Exactly what Stephanie McMahon says, and then AJ Lee said, all right, this is my time to be a woman and fight for my rights. And she goes to Stephanie McMahon from AJ Lee. Your female wrestlers have record-selling merchandise and have starred in the highest-rated segment of the show several times. She goes, and yet they receive a fraction of the wages and screen time of the majority of the male rosters. # use your voice. Stephanie McMahon simply comes back and says, thank you, AJ Lee. I appreciate your opinion. These are pretty strong, bold, CM Punkish-like comments from AJ Lee. Now, we haven't seen her in quite some time in front of cameras. They keep on saying, oh, it's her back, it's her ass. I don't even know. But what is your take? I mean, those are pretty strong words. This seems to be a straight-up shoot. What are your thoughts?
Mr. Daly?
I'm just thinking, is it part of the Give Divas a Chance movement? That's my personal opinion. I just think, literally, everybody's reading too much into AJ and Stephanie's Twitter reaction. I can bet you it's going to be part of the Give Divas a Chance # movement.
So you think they're using social media to kind of pull into a storyline, maybe leading to WrestleMania? Do you think they're trying to do that?
They've done it in the past.
But those are strong words that she used to. I mean, there's a line there that it seems like reality. That what AJ Lee was kind of pushing the envelope. Do you think it's a straight up work or?
They've done it in the past. Look at CM Punk. CM Punk broke the fourth wall.
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Do you think there's credibility to what she's saying, though, that the Divas should be deserved a better chance and more on-air television time?
I agree with that. That literally, was it 30 seconds that the Divas got in Raw?
Well, yeah, how long was the actual match itself? I thought it was going to be a full-fledged match. I was like, 4 seconds later, she got the pin last night on Monday Night Raw. Or, on 2 nights ago.
I think that's what somebody said. It was 26 seconds.
Including the entrances?
Maybe. Or was it 10 seconds?
All I know, the bell rang, and I looked up, and she was getting the pin already. I couldn't believe it.
I thought Wayne was going to add something in there. Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing because they have a lot of women on the roster who can work. You know, the Nikki Bella is proving more and more that she can work. Brie can work a little bit.
Brie can work better than Nikki. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, they both have been working their asses off since they came back in 2013. But, I mean, they have them. They have Paige. Emma can work. Charlotte can work if she comes up. Trying to think who else. I mean,
actually, just speaking of Charlotte, there's actually a rumor floating around right now. I don't want to literally say 100% confirmed or 0% confirmed, but there's a strong rumor floating around right now. The same rumor kind of middle as Roman Reigns, that Charlotte will be involved in some capacity at WrestleMania.
Well, thanks for taking away one of our stories from the rundown coming up here in a few minutes, Wayne.
My bad.
Yeah, there's a really strong rumor that she's already penciled in and she will become a Divas champion. No, I'm adding that to the rumor. But hey, why not? Why the F not?
But, do you guys think that AJ could be done with the company given the lawsuit that WWE, we haven't even talked about that one, guys, that Dr. Aman filed against CM Punk?
What about it?
Do you think that AJ could be done with WWE?
I don't think he should be held against her, personally.
No, but do you think she could be done with WWE because her husband's being sued? I mean, you have loyalty to your job, but at the same time, it's your spouse.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think anything that happens between CM Punk and WWE should be held against AJ.
No, I'm not saying that. Do you think she could leave because of it? She'd want to leave.
I'm sure she wants to leave already.
Yeah, she wants to get knocked up.
Would you want to leave your dream job, though, so soon?
Yeah, but
is it her dream job? I don't even know what they're anymore.
When you're a woman who's married, what's more of a dream job? Your dream job that you have or being a mother? I mean, because that's where a lot of women these days run into the wall, is that they want to be a mother, but they want to be a wrestler.
Mickey James is doing it. Stephanie McMahon has 3 kids. Just saying, it could be done.
Stephanie McMahon also has $500 million that she can pay for a babysitter.
And Mickey James works for TNA, or did, and she got pregnant when she was... Okay, never mind. Horrible examples of how to get pregnant as a diva.
Oh, Jesus. But, guys, let's talk about it here really quick. It has happened. The fight that we've been wanting to see for 10 years now has finally been announced.
Big Show versus Mayweather. Oh, no, sorry.
And it's Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. If you've been living under a rock, now you hear about it. The fight is officially on for May 27th?
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
What kind of calendar do you have, buddy?
Before I ask you guys how you guys feel about this fight finally being announced and being signed official, blah, blah, blah. Al? You're not...
CCC. I mean, look.
Wait.
CCC?
You, WrestlingNewsReport.com is a wrestling news website. Am I right?
With MMA and... Floyd Money Mayweather
No.
Almost headlined at WrestleMania. So technically, he's an ex-WWE personality, and people want to know what's up with Mayweather.
Okay,
And it's
so I
a
expect to see
Pacquiao
some
fight. I
soccer-
would never put it if it was Mayweather versus Joe Schmo or versus John Curry. Actually, if it's against John Curry, I will have an entire montage of videos on it.
So let me ask you then, by using that logic, if Wayne Rooney is involved at WrestleMania, are we going to see some football news on WrestlingNewsReport.com? By your logic, if Wayne Rooney is involved at WrestleMania, he will have then been a WWE personality, therefore it does pertain to wrestling. Am I wrong on that, Wayne?
No, you're not. And it's not going to happen anyway.
So that doesn't make sense. There's a closer connection with Mayweather and the WWE than Mr. Whatever the hell Rooney will ever have.
I'm just saying.
Mayweather is a future, or if not already, a Hall of Famer. I remember. A WWE Hall of Famer. In the celebrity wing. Put it this way, I'm going to start posting news about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Please don't.
Oh yeah, every celebrity, Mickey Rourke, and he's going to have his own section. I'm profiling
The
him
only thing
next
we need
week.
to post about Mickey Rourke is the fantastic movie that friend of our show, Evan Ginsberg, who will make his co-hosting debut for Main Event Madness on Wednesday, April 1st, 2015. Just throwing that out there, by the way. I doubt it very seriously. But yes, Evan Ginsberg will return to Main Event Madness, possibly before that, but we're looking...
Okay, we'll get back to what's important, and that's Mayweather getting his ass kicked by Pacquiao.
Evan Ginsberg, host of Legends TV and Legends Radio, associate producer of The Wrestler, is quite
We're still talking about Evan Ginsberg over here.
Yeah. He's getting mad at me and talking about Evan Ginsberg, Wayne?
No, I'm playing around with you, buddy. Damn.
Of all people, he's getting mad about it. But nonetheless, excited to have Evan on the show again, filling in for myself, as I'll be flying back from California. Nonetheless, back to Al. What were you saying?
I was saying, let's get back to what's important, and that's Mayweather getting his ass kicked by Pacquiao.
The streak is over. I wonder if I still have that clip.
He's gonna need Pacquiao's gonna need Paul Heyman on his side. We need to get that reaction.
Damn it! I don't have it. I wanted the clip that I had. It was probably a Blog Talk clip where I had it. The streak is over.
Wayne, who are you picking?
Mayweather, straight hands down.
Why?
Boo!
You're the heel of the show. I'm done with you.
Damn!
Why should I pick Pacquiao? That's what I want to know.
Just because Mayweather's a jackass. You gotta pick against Mayweather. Everybody wants to see Mayweather lose.
Mayweather's a better boxer
now. 48-0.
Right now he is. 5 years ago, Mayweather would have been done with. Funny how Mayweather waits and waits and waits and waits till Pacquiao has all these
right now?
fights under his belt, and he's weaker than he was before.
How is he weaker though? Pacquiao's had what is it?
He hasn't fought in like a year. How's he weaker?
What's Pacquiao? Pacquiao's about 57, 56 and 5, something like that.
And I think Mayweather is 47 or 48-0, right? Or 49-0.
Give me 1 second. Pacquiao is 57, 5 and 2. Mayweather is 40. Scroll down. Mayweather's 47 and 0.
Okay.
That's what, like 10 more fights Pacquiao's had.
Yep.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being undefeated and literally like losing a fight.
The thing is that when Mayweather started moaning and complaining on his last fight, I lost any little respect I have for the guy left. So I really would love for Pacquiao to take some steroids, just do whatever he needs to whip this guy's butt in the boxing ring. But look, in reality, in my gut, I think Mayweather's going to take it. My heart wants Pacquiao to win.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think Mayweather will take it, but I want to see Pacquiao fucking murder his ass.
It would be great, too, if it was like in the second round, just right at the end there. Just nice and early, just knock him the F out. That would be awesome.
Trust me when I say this fight's going to be all over within 6 rounds. Pacquiao is going to be on the floor within 6 rounds.
Prediction for Wayne Daly.
You think so? I don't think he'll be on the floor. If he is, that sucks.
If he is, I mean...
No, but it is exciting, man. I got excited about it. I did post it up on the website. I thought it was worth noting. I mean, it's a big fight.
Well, I had to call you out on it.
This is the biggest boxing fight since... I mean, I can't even remember. So I think it's going to be great for the fans, and it should be good to... I'll be purchasing the pay-per-view, or... Well, let me not get into... last time, everybody freaked out. I'll be watching the fight somewhere, and it won't cost too much money. I'll just say that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It doesn't mean anything illegal, Wayne. He means Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings there on... yeah, that's fine. You know what is crazy about this? This is going to be the highest venue ever per ticket. If you're going to sit in the nosebleed section, I believe tickets are going from $800 to $1,000. That's all the way on the top of the arena. So, yeah, if whoever's in that arena has some real good money, because I would never spend $1,000 to sit there on the nosebleed section and watch a fight.
I can't say anything about spending money because I did just drop $350 on 2 title belts, but that's just me.
Have you actually seen the credentials for first row?
No, I have not.
$15,000?
No, you must have at least 250,000 in your account.
Oh, to sit in the front?
Yep.
Wow, so we might see Donald Trump there, Jay-Z.
Rudy Giuliani.
At least $250,000 in your account to sit in the front row.
Vince McMahon.
I bet you Triple H will be there.
I think by the sounds of that,
I don't think he's going to be sitting in the front row.
Why, Triple H is more than that.
But why would he want to sit in the front row and waste his money?
Triple H is a big
his money because he'll probably be part of the walkout with Floyd.
Yeah, Do you guys remember a few years ago when Brock broke Triple H's arm, quote unquote, and then like the next day he walked out Floyd Mayweather to a fight?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, it's a robotic brace that he doesn't need to wear all the time, motherfuckers. Don't give me that shit.
It's still real to me, damn it.
That's still real to me. Oh my god.
But
yeah, good. All right, so final picks. Everybody clean sweep. Mayweather's taking it.
Yep.
Wayne, I need to ask you this. We know you're saying Mayweather, but doesn't a little bit of you want Pacquiao to win?
Nope.
So wait, you're Mayweather. You got Mayweather blood running through your veins?
100% Mayweather is going to beat Pacquiao.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, would you want to see, like, does your heart say, I want to see Pacquiao whoop Mayweather's ass?
Nope.
So you want to see Mayweather just dominate the rest of his career?
Yeah, it's going to happen, man. Literally, even if they go for a second fight,
they'll stick.
He's going to destroy him.
If anything, they'll fix the fights because boxing really doesn't have another Castro besides Mayweather.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen to boxing after Mayweather does decide to retire. And that's a whole other...
Ask George Foreman to clone himself.
I can tell you one thing. There's a big name he's making a name for himself in UK. Former Olympic boxer Anthony Joshua. Just remember that name.
Well, and I'll tell you this, with rating-wise, like, boxing does really well in the States here. The HBO specials, and even on, I believe, Spike TV's picking up those boxing specials, too. So they still do good. It's just that the household names aren't there yet. Not too, at least, I'm not like a boxing guru at all, by any means, but there's no one other like Mayweather. Hey, let's get going to the next thing here, John.
Well, first off, I want to try to coerce Wayne to do something. Wayne, it's time to wish happy birthday.
What?
We sing happy birthday to you, and may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday.
It is Main Event Madness birthday this week, sir.
Happy birthday to you.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not singing the rest of that.
Well, they're forcing your hand. If you're like a WWE superstar, they're going to make you look like a jackass in front of the live. And happy birthday to the WWE Network. So this is what right now. John Kerry's just pulled a Vince McMahon on Wayne Daly. Put you on the spot.
All right, guys, it's time for my new favorite segment. It's called the blah, blah, let's try it again. I was going to say the rundown. I was like, wait, no. Time for the rundown. 10 minutes, 5 topics. Wayne, do you got 10 minutes with us?
Yeah, I should.
Yes, he does.
All right, well, we should say it's going to be 8 minutes, 4 topics, because Wayne had to screw one up. Thanks, buddy.
My bad.
Whoopsie!
But, yep, we touched on it earlier. The Undertaker...
I can just do what Ted does in the movie. It was my bad, I was sending a tweet.
He sounded just like that. Was hilarious. My bad, it's a tweet. Hey, part 2's coming out soon. I can't wait.
The Undertaker is not appearing until WrestleMania reportedly...
That son of a bitch. No, he's not.
How do you guys feel about The Undertaker not appearing until WrestleMania? We touched on it earlier, but...
He's not going to return. He's not even going to be at WrestleMania, I heard. It's all lies.
Oh, Jesus.
It's going to be the bogus Undertaker. Nope.
I don't think Wayne heard me say the question.
I
said the
I'm sorry.
Undertaker... The Undertaker...
I'm sorry, I'm having too much of a good time today. Sorry, go ahead,
The Undertaker's
guys.
reportedly not appearing until WrestleMania 31. Wayne, how do you feel about that?
What's the question? I actually did not hear the word because of Merriman laughing, I actually didn't hear a word.
The Undertaker is not appearing until WrestleMania 31. How do you feel about that, sir?
I think that's a surprise element with The Undertaker that no one knows what he's going to come back like. Like as you said, you're hoping for the American Badass. A lot of people are hoping for the Dead Man Undertaker. No one knows what he's going to look like. No one knows what his hair is like. No one knows what his appearance is going to be like.
Or, like you said, the American Dead Man.
Yeah, they can go a completely different route and go that way. As I said to you.
What, he's going to ride to the ring the motorcycle with the druids on the side as well?
That'd actually be pretty badass.
It'd be kind of different, right? It'll be a mixture of both. He's going to have the trench coat on, but he's going to be wearing jeans underneath.
Why not?
And then what he's going to do is have half his head is going to be with extensions, and then the other half will not be. No, that's too much. Okay, I'm sorry.
Now, if you saw that picture of Michelle McCooley.
He has a little bit of hair there.
I mean, he can only grow it on the back of his head because he's pretty much bald in the front half. But also, next up, Triple H wants Samoa Joe in NXT. Do you guys think it will happen? Wayne, we'll go to you first, so Al can't cut you off this time.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. If it does happen, I think it's going to happen towards the end of the year. That's personal opinion.
Al?
I mean, it's one of those things that I feel like he might go that AJ Styles route. He's a veteran, a seasoned vet, and I don't think he wants to go to a company like WWE where they're going to micromanage him. He was with TNA for 9+ years, and I think he might take that AJ Styles route. He might hit up the indie scene hard, ROH hard. He's got the same person that represents him in Bill Barons. And I don't see why he can't make the same or not more money in the indie scene than he was in TNA and close out his career, maybe being a part of the Bullet Club with AJ Styles. Who knows?
Well, Ring of Honor has already announced that he's got like 4 or 5 shows this month that he's returning to Ring of Honor for. So,
before we go to the next topic, Wayne's on the show, and I mentioned that I want to talk about it today. Did you see Wayne CM Punk's message to Samoa Joe today?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What are your thoughts? You think he says trying to quote-unquote break the internet again, teasing that he might wrestle a match against Samoa Joe in the ROH ring again?
I think they're just going to, literally, my opinion is that they're just getting people talking about the match. I don't see it happening, especially with Punk being contracted now to UFC.
Well, there's one thing about that contract with the UFC, which they keep on saying is they want to see how he does in his first match, and it's going to determine his MMA career. So if he has one match and he's done, or one fight, I'm sorry, and he's done, that would mean that CM Punk would be open sometime mid-year to come back to wrestling. Or after mid-year, because he's looking for a June, July fight, hopefully, the latest December, he said. So if he's one and done, potentially he might come back to wrestling. And then it's a possibility, but I'm saying it is a long possibility, and he is tied up to that contract now, but who knows?
Like even if CM Punk fought in October, and if he loses, and if he's done with MMA, I mean that leaves him as a complete free agent for 2016.
Definitely.
I mean, he can go to Japan, he can go to TNA if he wants to, he can go anywhere.
We're talking about CM Punk?
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, he would be one of the most lucrative. He will not be in WWE again. That is, I always go by the thing, never say never. I might have to back that off in this situation with CM Punk. I think that is absolutely destroyed. And I don't see CM Punk ever working with that company again.
Well, the way I take it, whoever thought Bruno Sammartino would have a working relationship with WWE, whoever thought Warrior would get back talking to WWE.
Whoever thought Macho Man would ever be inducted in the Hall of Fame or Bret Hart would come back, let alone face or have a match at WrestleMania.
I understand, but I think that this is beyond that. Like, CM Punk is just set in his own ways. Unless he grows, and he's 60 years old, and he at that point, but I'm saying as a CM Punk in his prime, I don't see him coming back. A 45 or 50, maybe a 50-year-old CM Punk, maybe. But anytime soon in the next 10, 15 years, I don't see him coming back. It's got to be. He's just got a lawsuit from the WWE doctors, and then within 24, 48 hours, WWE.com released a statement saying that CM Punk is full of shit. I mean, as of right now, that relationship is the worst I've ever seen it. I don't see it anytime soon. Maybe in the far future, but within 10 or 15 years, I cannot see that happening. All right, next topic. What's up?
Your boy, DDP, reportedly had surgery and had a staph infection in his throat, but is doing better, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he was talking too much, and that sounds about right with Diamond Dallas Page. I texted him a few times. He said he's doing all right. He just had the staph infection. It happens. He couldn't talk. Imagine he was going crazy, writing down everything. That's why we got these long posts from him. But he's doing better. He's already back at his accountability crib, doing the yoga with the Stevie Ray and all that. So he's doing fine. He's doing better.
Well, that's always good, and glad to see DDP hopefully getting back on his feet pretty soon here. Ring of Honor at Spike TV, are they having talks? Reporters?
No. It was something that was made out of nothing. It was something that a lot of people would like to see because we want to see that third platform wrestling company. And Spike TV with Ring of Honor would be absolutely amazing. Ring of Honor is in talks with some type of network to do something, but right now, nothing with Spike TV.
What would be sick if it was ESPN? That'd be hilarious.
And speaking of ESPN, this Friday they have a special on the Von Erich family. If you guys want to catch it, should be pretty great. And the Von Erichs actually working with TNA again here soon. So on ESPN, they have a special this Friday night if you want to put your DVRs. So one day you're kicking back, drinking a beer, you can see the roots of wrestling and how much they impacted wrestling. They have a big impact on wrestling and stables, and actually their fuse with the Freebirds were major in Texas and all. So it would be a great watch if you guys want to see something interesting. Sorry, I just had to put that out there.
No, you're good. We got Wayne. Are you taking off, sir?
I'm still here for a few minutes.
Okay. Let's see. We got about 5 minutes or so left before we get ready to wrap this up. Let's see. All right. So in light of Samoa Joe leaving TNA now, guys, I just want to ask you both: who do you guys think? TNA's roster is aging. At least it seems like it's always getting older and older, and there's less and less young guys coming in. At least in my opinion. Who do you guys think could be the one to step up big for TNA this year? Kind of like EC3 did last year. Could it be EC3 again? Maybe Bram or Davey Richards? Who do you guys think could be the one, to fill the void of Samoa Joe not being there anymore?
To fill that void, I mean, that's a difficult void to fill in because, Samoa Joe really impactful in the locker room, and he just has that face value. He's been the face of TNA, he was he's one of those last faces of TNA. There's a lot of people that have great potential. Gunner, I mean, he's a beast in his own. Bram, he impresses me every time I see him. There's just something about Bram that he's intensity. But to fill in Samoa Joe, those are big shoes to fill in. Wayne, what are your thoughts?
I agree with you that filling Samoa Joe's shoes are big shoes to fill. But if I had to pick two people that would step up for 2015, it'd probably be Davey Richards and Drew Galloway.
You see, I would love to say Drew Galloway, but I'm scared of what type of contract he has. I know that he did a couple one-night stands TV tape, but is he going to be a regular? Is he going to be a part of the main roster weekly and all that? If he is, I think that's a force to be reckoned with, and be a part of the show. Which I think that would be great, but I don't know.
From what I got told, Drew is contracted to TNA, but he's allowed to keep his independent appearances, which means if Drew was wrestling in Scotland, it would have to go through TNA.
So TNA would be priority?
Yeah, TNA would be priority number one, apparently.
Okay. If that's the case, I mean, yeah, hell yeah, I want to see Drew Galloway out there and make his mark, and I think he will be somebody. And to your point, John, EC3, I think he has a potential to continue to his rise. And I know we all know where it's going to lead. Brodus Clay or Tyrus, he was on the show in the past. They're going to eventually feud. We all know that. Tyrus will turn on him or whatever the case is. EC3 is great. But, I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, David Richards is great, and Galloway is a great runner-up, and that could potentially fill that void. But
I have one more. It's a funny name.
Who's that?
Jeremy Borash.
Oh, jeez. I can't believe how much they're putting him through the ringer lately, which is hilarious.
Their own Jeremy Borash. Have you guys seen their new backstage interviewer? He was on NXT this week talking to Finn Balor, I believe, or Adrian Neville, about his match with Kevin Owens.
Oh, you know who you're on, but name's not coming to the top of my head.
I can't think of his name either, but he looks exactly like Jeremy Borash. But, aside from who's on the roster, is there a younger talent you guys think could pop into TNA?
Ooh.
Like I said, I mean, James Storm has his Revolution crew, whatever they're called, and somebody's bound to break out of there. I mean, Manic, I mean, there's a lot of guys there that have potential. Just to be the next, I don't know. I don't know who I could tell you. Magnus is important. I don't even know if Magnus is there anymore at this point.
The last thing I saw was there was some update that Mickie James was supposed to give him after he got attacked a couple weeks ago. But
Magnus is there. Just keep watching.
There's a lot of guys I find intriguing. Gunner, great. Bram, Magnus. I mean, Galloway. I mean, all these guys.
What about Crimson?
And I love the mix of. I have a good mix of wrestlers and all these Americans, that's one thing I like. And one person that, I met a lot of these guys, TNA Lockdown. The one guy that I was excited to meet, but I was kind of like let down was MVP. And every time I hear him on the microphone, it annoys me. And I hate that he's so, like, the main focus of a lot of the storyline going on. But, yeah, I don't know. The drawbacks, I don't know. I just can't stand MVP anymore. I'm sorry to put that out there. All right, let's continue. We've got a couple minutes here. Let's try to hit up one more topic.
I was going to ask if you'd want to hit the other news segment that we have. Start to close things up here if you want. Or do you want to skip that?
Let's do it.
All right, Al, you're on the clock. You have 30 seconds. Give us some thoughts, feedback, anything you want.
Oh man, I wasn't ready to be put on the spot like this. 30 seconds.
30
Any
seconds,
subject?
and your
I don't even know. I wasn't ready. Can you go first on this new subject? On this new form?
Oh, you're a pain in the ass.
Well, I wasn't ready for it. You didn't even talk to me. A 30-second piece. I wasn't even ready for it.
30 seconds starting now. I'm excited to see how they build up WrestleMania, how they get to Orton versus Seth Rollins, what the deal will be with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, whether or not Brock's going to continue to walk out. Will he re-sign with WWE? A lot of things to follow in the coming weeks here. Also, excited to see spring training baseball coming up. I don't know. Lost my train of thought there. That's my piece for the forum here. And I'm done.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Sting and Triple H. I want to see that build continue. A little bit worried about. I want to see what's going to happen with Taker and Bray Wyatt. That is intriguing as hell. Bray Wyatt continues with his vignettes. I want to see how he looks when he comes back. The only thing I know about the Undertaker is 1 year older, and that's all we know. So it'll be intriguing to see what happens. And I want to see who Alberto Del Rio is talking about in his recent interview, saying that there's a new name coming in a couple weeks, and that he's very excited. And I want to know who it is. I want to say it's Rey Mysterio, but I doubt it. But he's excited about a name, and he's supposed to be a big name. So in a couple of weeks, Lucha Underground is going to have a debut of a new star that we all know, and I'm excited to see who that is.
Brother.
I'm sorry?
It's probably going to be Alberto's brother.
Who's that?
I can't remember. It's like Mimo Montenegro or something like that. I was just naming it NXT.
Ricardo El Patron?
Ricardo Rodriguez? No, I'm playing. So yeah, I'm excited about those are my closing thoughts.
Wayne, would you have anything you want to throw into this?
Nothing. Just like you, I'm excited for WrestleMania.
Alright. Guys, we have a bunch of topics we're going to touch on next week. Like Al said, Alberto Del Rio is teasing a new name coming to Lucha Underground, which that's a show that I've had recording on DVR for a few weeks that I need to start watching, as I do Ring of Honor. Also next week, we hope to have Kid Cash exclusive interview here on Main Event Madness. That's Al's homework for the next week. Also, we have another interview that we're working on, waiting to hear back from. We will announce that on Twitter and Facebook.com/Main Event Madness. Of course, our Twitter handles are at John MEM Radio. Wayne's is at WN_net. Al's is
Al Me Madness.
He loves his damn Twitter handle. Follow us on there. Follow or like us on Facebook. Like us on Spreaker. You'll get the absolute latest information on our upcoming interviews and a bunch of other stuff, including what we're going to be doing as far as WrestleMania is concerned. Well, Al's apparently gone. What we're going to do... Wasn't expecting that already. What we're going to do as far as shows go for WrestleMania... Joel O'Brien, who's the host of Wrestling's Rope Break, which you guys can check him out tomorrow night, Spreaker.com, and of course, Wrestling'sRopeBreak.weebly.com. He wants to do a show every day of WrestleMania weekend. I don't know if that's going to be the case, although we're going to have a little bit, there might be shorter shows, maybe half
We've
hour.
done that in the past.
It didn't go very well. You were there.
It was hectic, let's put it that way.
It didn't go very well.
It was hectic.
It wasn't even hectic. Like, normally WrestleMania week is busier than hell. And last week it was just dead. But, so yeah, stay tuned, of course, to Facebook.com/Main Event Madness, and you'll be able to find out what we're going to do as far as shows go. I mean, Thursday, Joel's got, and you got the fire alarm going off in the background. Joel's going to, a Evolve show Thursday night, so we can talk about that a little bit, and as well as some Mania predictions on the Friday, maybe Saturday. Wayne, I don't even know if I've told you everything we're doing that Saturday out there. It's going to be a very long day. We got access. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
We have access at 8 o'clock in the morning We're going to be leaving Access at like 10:30. We're going to Jim Ross's one-man show at 11 o'clock. And then from there, and then from there, we got a meet and greet with him. I don't know if that's before or after the show. And that Joel said that's like maybe an hour to 2 hours. So from there, we go back to the hotel, and then like 2 hours later, we have the Hall of Fame that we have to get ready for, including the inductions of Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah.
I have one question before you wrap things up. Are you actually going to suit up for the Hall of Fame?
No. I can't fit that much dry cleaning, and I don't have money for that much dry cleaning. So, they said it's smart casual, so, you know, if not some nice pants, maybe, or a nice pair of jeans and a button-down shirt. Try to look a little classy. But, a little bit classier than I normally do, rocking the t-shirt. But, I'm just rambling here. We got, like I said, we hopefully have Kid Cash with us next week. Wayne I don't know if Wayne will be with us. Matt Brees, schedule permitting, should be back next week. Get a little bit more into spring training predictions than what we did last week. Technical difficulties did not allow us to do that. Yeah, Wayne, is there anything else you wanted to mention before we get the hell out of here?
Just bye-bye.
Alrighty, guys, and on that note, we should be back here next week, 11 a.m. Eastern, Spreaker.com/show/Main Event Madness, WrestlingNewsReport.com, Wrestling-News.net, at John MEM Radio, at Almy Madness, at WN_net. Like I said, Wrestling's Rope Break tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, Spreaker.com/show/Wrestling's Rope Break, and WrestlingRopeBreak.weebly.com. I believe that's their website. If it's not, I apologize in advance. And that's all we got, guys. We are on a 7-day break. We will see you again, God willing, next Wednesday. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining us. Miss a part or all of today's show? No problem. Head over to MainEventMadness.com where you'll find today's show as well as every show in our history. So once again, for all of us here at Main Event Madness, I'm John Curry. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you back here next time. Have a good one, everybody. So long.
Bye-bye.